The informed consent form that I was able to find a sample of on the internet seemed very comprehensive. It had quite a bit of information and different parts where the client would need to initial before they would be able to receive services. And because of that, it shows me that they were able to have the counselor or the intake people explain things more clearly so that the clients can understand. They had things like what to do if they needed to cancel, what the repercussions would be if they canceled 3 times, then they would be terminating services. And I even noticed that on this particular form, they had a disclosure of if the counselor was having a supervisor and what would be discussed with that supervisor, while still maintaining confidentiality. Payments, extended absences, what to do if the counselor was going to be out of town or gone for a period of time, that they would take care and make sure to provide the client with access to a different counselor for the time that they're going to be gone. The limitations and expected behaviors for confidentiality, and then also just what would happen if the court asked them for any records or things along those lines. I think compared to the Iowa rules and regulations, it seemed like it had a lot more detail overall. The Iowa ones seemed like it did just kind of do the general overview, the things that were definites. But the intake form that I saw, the sample, was basically giving all kinds of things also that would happen in the office. So more specific to that particular space instead of just the legal terms. What I did notice in the Iowa Code of Ethics was that it seemed to actually reach most of those as well. The intake form didn't necessarily talk about all of the limitations to counselor and client relationships and the professionalism there. It did go on to say that it would be the client that would need to make the first kind of acknowledgement if the counselor was able to see them in public, that the counselor would respect their confidentiality and make sure to not say anything unless it was the client who approached them first. The consent form did show a lot of what the ACA Code of Ethics had to say. It said that the counselors have an obligation to review in writing and verbally with clients all information before they would start a session, and that consent form went along with those ACA Code of Ethics. The only thing that I didn't necessarily see was what would happen if there was a death of a counselor or if a counselor was going to leave for an extended, long period of time. It seemed like it was more if they were going on vacation or out of town or if some family emergency came up. So that was something that I noticed. Other than that, it seemed to go along very nicely with what the ACA Code of Ethics was asking it to do. Overall, I think it seemed like a very complete form and one that would cover the client and also cover the counselor as well. Thank you so much. Bye.